this ambiguous definition of happiness, you're spot on. That becomes one of the biggest problems when someone's trying to quote unquote solve their happiness issue.
Well, plus it makes them feel that they're constantly failing because
Correct.
their ability to get to that, what they see on Instagram as being happy or TikTok as being happy, is never reachable for them. And so they just give up at some point. So yeah, I love what you said, that it's really important to define it for yourself and maybe even put a different word. I mean, maybe it doesn't have to be for you that happiness is your holy grail of the state of being. It could be something completely different. And
I think that's spot on. And I think, again, boiling back to semantics and revisiting your earlier question, that's why I think fun as a construct is so much more interesting, right? Because fun allows us immediate wins, right? Like at any given time, maybe you need to wait a couple hours or a couple days, but you can take action towards making certain aspects of your life more pleasurable. And happiness is always a lagging indicator where you're looking at where you are today and where you want to be. And again, what we know from the science is that starts to affect your identity, because when you continually look at the gap between here and now and your future state, you're going to start to go, I am an unhappy person, because by definition you are, with the way that you're framing it, right? So if you can reframe it in a way that, one, happiness is somewhat an illusion, right? I mean, why happiness also is problematic is that to some degree it's this collective hallucination that we have, right? Because it relies to some degree on your happenstance, right? We know that happiness is a construct that's based in comparing, right? So why is it that folks from lower economic areas can be much more happier than folks from higher economic areas, right? And that's because they're comparing themselves to their peers, and that is a big component of happiness, right? It's why we know from lottery studies that when people win, have these huge windfalls, that yes, they become a lot more excited and happier for about a year, but then they return to where they were because, again, we start to compare ourselves once we adapt to our new surroundings and new circumstances.